There comes a moment in every life when the storm hits. Not a drizzle, not a breeze, but a storm so loud, so ruthless, it threatens to shatter the calm you've built inside. The world throws at you its sharpest winds: betrayal, rejection, loss, failure, and it waits. It waits to see if you'll break. But those who rise, they don't flinch, they don't react. They respond with nothing but poise, focus, and principle. They act as if nothing affects them. Not because they are cold, but because they are trained. Because their power no longer comes from the world, it comes from within. This is not about pretending. This is about controlling your center. This is about becoming the kind of person who remains unmoved in chaos, unfazed in crisis, unshaken in defeat. The person who does not allow the temperature of the outside world to dictate the temperature of their soul. You don't control the waves, but you are the captain of the ship. And if you lose the wheel every time the ocean shifts, you'll never reach the land of greatness. You'll stay tossed, thrashed, and drifted by the moods of the world. Those who truly ascend, the Edisons, the Lincolns, the Mandelas, were not absent of pain. They felt it, they endured it, but they did not surrender to it. Because they understood something the average mind forgets. Your life is not shaped by what happens to you. It is shaped by how you choose to interpret, respond, and rise above it. So when life pushes, you pull yourself back into alignment. When someone insults, you listen for wisdom and discard the venom. When failure comes, you bow to the lesson and move forward with more clarity than ever before. Acting as if nothing affects you is not indifference. It is independence. It is the strength to respond by principle, not pressure. It is the courage to stay calm in war, to stay kind in hate, to stay focused in noise, to hold your vision when the entire world tells you you're wrong. And in that stillness, in that quiet defiance of chaos, something divine begins to take root. You become immovable, untouchable, unshakable. Because while the world spins, you walk straight. While emotions scream, you listen to wisdom. While others spiral, you rise. Power is not noise. Power is stillness. It is the ability to sit quietly in the middle of chaos and still hear your own thoughts. It is the strength to say, I will not be moved. Not because I am blind to what's happening, but because I see beyond it. The people who win in this life aren't the loudest. They are the most centered. They are not running to prove something. They walk in certainty because their compass is not made of opinions. It's forged from principle. Understand this. When you let external forces dictate your emotions, you give away your throne. You hand over your kingdom to every distraction, every critic, every mood swing, every fear. And soon, your life becomes a reaction instead of a creation. But if you can remain centered, not cold, not detached, but rooted, then no one can own you. No comment can define you. No failure can stop you. No success can blind you. Because you're not chasing approval. You're aligned with purpose. This world is full of noise. The average person lets that noise shape their identity. But the rare one, the exceptional one, listens to something deeper. They wake up with clarity. They move with discipline. They speak with intention. And they do not bend for pressure. They are powered by principle. Carnegie built steel, but it was his unshakable clarity in the face of criticism that made him powerful. Lincoln faced a divided nation, betrayal, death, failure after failure. But he stood, not reacting to the attacks, but anchored to a vision of unity, justice, and something higher than himself. This is the secret they all knew. Your energy is sacred. If you spend it on anger, drama, and petty wars, you will never have enough left to build anything of real value. So the most elite don't give everything their attention. They choose what deserves their energy. They respond with strategy, not emotion. They act, not out of impulse, but out of intention. This is not a performance. This is mental mastery. You must learn to hold your power, not just when things go well, but especially when they don't. because that is where the world decides who you really are. And if you can hold your peace in pressure, if you can keep your spirit calm while the ground shakes beneath you, if you can train your mind to stay aligned when nothing is going your way, then you've already won the first war, the war inside. To act as if nothing affects you does not mean you feel nothing. It means you have mastery over what gets access to your core. Life will test this. It will throw storms at you, not because it wants you to break, but to see what you're made of. And if you haven't built yourself from within, you'll crumble under pressure like a paper crown in the rain. But those who train in silence, those who build their emotional strength like warriors sharpen steel, they walk into the storm and don't flinch, because their peace wasn't borrowed from the outside, it was earned through discipline. You must stop waiting for calm to act calm. Stop waiting for perfect conditions to feel centered. The battlefield will never be ideal. The world will never pause for your readiness. You have to learn to be the still point in the spinning wheel. When people betray you, keep building. When the odds stack against you, stay focused. When doubt creeps in, remember, doubt is not your truth. It's just noise. Most people collapse because they've outsourced their confidence. They rely on compliments, likes, applause, validation. And when that fades, so do they. But you must be different. You must anchor yourself in principle so deeply that no external rejection can shake it loose. You're not here to impress. You're here to impact. You're here to create, to lead, to rise. This is not about pretending. This is about rising above reaction and becoming a response in human form. There will be moments when silence is your best speech, when walking away is your greatest strength, when holding eye contact without flinching says more than 1,000 defensive words. Self-mastery is not just emotional, it's spiritual. It's knowing that when you control yourself, you unlock the power to influence the world without being owned by it. And that is what makes you rare. You become the storm's equal. You become the calm that others cling to. You become the gravity in the room, not because you forced it, but because you embodied it. And from that place, decisions are clearer, actions are cleaner, results are inevitable. So build yourself not just to perform in peace, but to stand unshaken when chaos visits. Because when you master that, you're no longer playing their game. You're writing your own. And that, right there, is the power of acting as if nothing affects you, because you've trained your soul to be stronger than the storm. Now ask yourself, who are you when no one is watching? When the applause is gone, when the world turns silent, when it's just you and your reflection, do you stand tall or shrink beneath your own shadow? The greatest battles are not fought in stadiums. They are fought in hearts. In the quiet corners of your mind where no one sees the war between who you are and who you're becoming. This is where warriors are made. Not on stages, but in solitude. Not in proving, but in becoming. You don't act unaffected to impress others. You do it to preserve your alignment. You do it to rise above the noise, above the chaos, above the need to be understood by those not meant to walk your path. And yes, it's lonely. Growth always is. But loneliness is not emptiness. It is sacred space. It is the furnace in which conviction is forged. So let them call you cold when you stop explaining. Let them call you arrogant when you no longer beg for approval. You weren't born to explain your light to those committed to staying in the dark. Stand still, even when the ground shakes. Speak with purpose, even when your voice trembles. Carry peace like a sword, sharp, focused, and untouchable. Because in a world obsessed with reaction, your stillness becomes your rebellion. And make no mistake, this is a rebellion. Against weakness, against distraction, against the version of you that settled for less than greatness. You don't need a crown to lead. You don't need applause to validate your steps. You need clarity of mission and the emotional discipline to walk it, no matter what. This is what it means to act as if nothing affects you. Not because you don't feel, but because you've chosen to rise above. You've trained your mind. You've aligned your soul. You've silenced the noise until all that remains is purpose. Let the world wonder why you're unshaken. Let them misjudge your silence. Because while they react, you build. While they complain, you create. While they chase comfort, you become unbreakable. And when it's all said and done, when the dust settles, the chaos fades, and truth reveals itself, it won't be the loudest who stand victorious. It will be the one who mastered the inner storm. So walk like nothing can shake you. Live like your peace is non-negotiable. Act as if nothing affects you, because you've become the one who cannot be moved.